we here?
Who are we?
All Filipinos are in the Navy, right?
That's true, isn't it?
Where are all my aunties nurses?
What's the deal with the P&F?
Sure, I'll bring lumpia for culture day.
Why do we have to send all those boxes back to PI?
Dad, why aren't you an officer?
Why can't my teacher pronounce my name?
Why didn't I learn that in class?
Why don't I care?
That tattoo is fat.
Why is 1587 important?
I don't know what it means.
Why aren't we in the history books?
Really? I got it from White Steel.
Why is 1906 important to me?
Why all this talk about a movement?
Why America?
Why do we identify with others?
Why did I want to be white?
Why do I know more about Latinos?
Why do we identify with Puerto Ricans?
Why do I identify with African Americans?
Why do we identify with others?
Why not ourselves? Why don't we know ourselves? Who are we?
I don't know.
Why are we us?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Out of all places in the United States, like why are we in Virginia
Why not
Beach?
California?
Why not like Oklahoma or something, you know?
You know, I'd say from like this spot, 5 to 10 miles out in either direction, that's where most of the Filipinos live in this area. You know, everybody, I mean like first generation, second generation, even third generation now. I mean, we're starting to build a history for ourselves in this community. I mean, I could get in my car, drive 2 minutes in any direction and hit up one of my friends, you know. It's like really cool. There's a real sense of community. Everybody's really close. And I don't know, it's just nicer that way.
Let's see, describe the Filipino American Cultural Society of Salem High School. FANHS is history, it's identity, community, it's Filipino, it's American.
I thought about Filipinos just like that too, like, you know, the parties, the associations, the cliques.
Like the novenas and
Yeah, the religion.
look up, you know,
Dance.
the Philippines.
Yeah.
You know, you always talk about the rice terraces and, you know, Lapu-Lapu, but then you don't really think too much about
Like Filipino American.
Also, I thought when I was younger about all Filipino was potlucks. Like every week, like every holiday, my dad would bring me to like Christmas. We hung out, you know, his club, his organization, the Filipinos. So I'm the president, whatever. We went there, like we had Santa Claus, and I see the same people every holidays, like Valentine's. We have potluck. Everyone brings rice. This person brings them. We just get together. People talk, chismes, and that's it. That's all I thought Filipino was. That's all I knew. And everyone had a van. You know, that's the stereotype, but I do have a van, you know?
So do I.
Facts for me, it basically gave me a whole new perspective of how to look at being American as well as Filipino. It provided me with different venues to express my culture, such as through poetry, through drama skits that also go along with traditional dances, or just learning through history texts.
My, what a savage beast. Living on beast civilization by means of education. And with this he held out a book. And with this he held my mind.
I had to understand where my people were coming from to really write about them. So I had to look back at my past, look back at the way my parents lived, the way that they survived in coming here, and what they had to give up just to provide me with the things that they never had. Things that when I was at a young age, I took for granted.
I guess the medium of art was a real catalyst for our club's self-expression.
Don't define me because I'm not what you think I am. Don't ask me to bring lumpia for culture day, because I am more than that. And that's where you'll start your first definition.
I want someone to show me what life outside this box really is, and make my mind as strong as the smell of my mother's kitchen, so I can fend off your words and your definitions that surround and suffocate me. I think, therefore I am. I'm not what you say I am. I just want to breathe the air that manifests into words, not definitions, but night and revolution. Just give me space, so I can just breathe.
My mother's a loser piece, because I could definitely relate with my mom, just, you know, being the homemaker. She didn't go to work when me and my little sister Elizabeth were little. She devoted all her time to us, to being the mom, the caring mom, one always there when we come home from school, the one that's always there to check our homework, and the one who's there for us when our dad's not there, when he's away on the 6-month-long cruises.
I wonder what my mother did when my father was away on those 6-month-long cruises, and she had no one to turn to but 2 small children who demanded me.
The person, the kid slides down and she can't pronounce French fries. To me, when I first saw it on the play, like I smiled because I'm like, dang, I can relate to that. But at the same time, I didn't want to shed a tear because I'm a guy. But anyways, I was like, dang, that's like true. My dad can't pronounce French fries, and like that's why I smiled and cried at the same time because I could relate to it. Yeah, that was a good one.
I think Dead Man was probably the one that stuck out most in my mind because it showed like all the different aspects, you know, from like I guess the materialistic to, you know, the Filipino that like denied for a while, like, you know, denied their culture, and then to the student type thing. And the student thing really stuck out in my head because like for a long time, you know, like I'm really interested like in history, like that was always like my strongest subject type thing, but you know, every time in school, like I totally relate to that because like every time in school, you know, they always mention the Philippines, and you know, you're just there and you just hope they don't call it.
I slumped with my head down, praying that the teacher wouldn't call on me to provide some insight on the Philippines that I knew nothing about.
It's like, hey, you're Filipino, you should know. It's like, I don't know. I don't. No one taught me that at home.
Doing the plays helped me understand colonial mentality in the sense that I didn't have to suffer from it anymore.
I wonder about the internal forces and the choices my parents gave me. I wonder about the internal forces and the choices my parents made to bring me to a brighter now. Give me the power of 1,000 care about to fight denial, to fight forgetting, and never letting the forces of colonization destroy my mind.
I think it was a blessing to grow up, or to go to school to Salem High School, you know, because it's so like diverse. Like we're about 50% Caucasian, I think 30%.
Everyone else is like minority.
Yeah, 30% African American,
Really
and about 20% Asian, primarily Filipino. And being like having like a Filipino American club, like at first thought you may think, like some people may think, you know, it's like ethnocentric type thing, but the way we go about it, you know, it's not, and the facts play, like everyone gets into it, not just Filipinos. And
in the early 80s, Japanese cars flooded the U.S. markets. In 1982, a Chinese American auto worker named Vincent Chen was beaten to death by 2 out-of-work auto workers. They assumed he was Japanese. They only got 3 years of probation.
In 1999, Buford Furrow opened fire at a daycare center in a Jewish community center out Los Angeles. While on his rampage, he gunned down and killed Joseph Valeto, a Filipino American mail carrier, simply because he looked different.
And I remember like our closing number was One Love by Bob Marley. I remember like being in 9th grade, like walking down the hallway afterwards, and there's people just like singing the songs, like odd people, like, you know, like random people just like singing the song. I was like,
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
It's deep, man.
It's everything. It's like funny, it's sad, it's happy. Like
It's America.
Right on.
It's America, man.
Join in.
It's our America.